Good evening. Welcome to Election Night 2020. Tonight we have former Vice President Joe Biden versus the incumbent President Donald Trump. Joe Biden's running mate is Kamala Harris, and of course Donald Trump's is incumbent Vice President Mike Pence. Let's go over some polling data. The approval rating of the president is disapprove plus 10. The National has Biden up plus 14. Nevada has Biden ahead by 7. Ohio, Biden plus 3. Iowa, Trump plus 5. New Hampshire, Biden plus 9. Pennsylvania, Biden plus 17. Remember, this is his home state of birth. Wisconsin, Biden plus 10. Michigan, Biden plus 12. Arizona, Trump plus 8. North Carolina, Trump plus 5. Florida, Biden plus 1. And Georgia, Trump plus 2. It is now 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and all the states in yellow have closed. The state of Kentucky will go to Donald Trump, 8 electoral votes. The state of Indiana will go to Donald Trump, home state of Vice President Mike Pence. The state of South Carolina will go to Donald Trump. And the state of Vermont will go to Joe Biden. And the state of Georgia is too close to call. Donald Trump and Joe Biden evenly split. I'm sure right now that Joe Biden has a small lead. Out of the state of Virginia, it is too close to call. And the electoral map is on your screen now. If you look at the two new additions to our map, we have leaning and likely. Leaning meaning the light blue, and likely meaning the slightly darker blue. And solid blue is states that we have officially called for either candidate. Whereas the dark red would be for Donald Trump, light red is leaning for Donald Trump, and likely is darker red for Donald Trump. It is now 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and 3 new states' polls have closed. Out of the state of West Virginia, 5 electoral votes land in the Trump column tonight. The state of Ohio is too close to call, 18 electoral votes in total, only 1% reporting. The state of North Carolina is too close to call, 21% reporting. Joe Biden 51%, Donald Trump 48%. And the electoral map is on your screen now, 3 for Joe Biden, 33 for Donald Trump. It is now 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and a whole new batch of poll closings. 169 electoral votes in total. Out of the state of Oklahoma will go to Donald Trump. The state of Missouri, 10 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. The state of Tennessee, 11 electoral votes give to Donald Trump. The state of Alabama will go to Donald Trump with its 9 electoral votes. The state of Mississippi will go to Donald Trump, 6 electoral votes. The state of Illinois will go to Joe Biden, Barack Obama's senatorial home state, 20 electoral votes. The state of Maryland will go to Joe Biden, 10 electoral votes. The state of Delaware, Joe Biden's senatorial home state, 3 electoral votes projected to go to Joe Biden. The state of New Jersey will go to Joe Biden, 14 electoral votes. The state of Massachusetts projected to go to Joe Biden. The state of Connecticut, with its 7 electoral votes projected to go to Joe Biden. Rhode Island, 4 electoral votes projected to go to Joe Biden. And the state of Maine, 4 out of its 4 electoral votes projected to go to Joe Biden. Maine's 2nd congressional district is at a margin of 51 to 49. However, previous polling data shows that Joe Biden is ahead of Donald Trump. This is a flip from 2016. The District of Columbia, 3 electoral votes projected to go to Joe Biden, 94% to 4%. And the state of Pennsylvania has flipped from the Republican column. 20 electoral votes go to Joe Biden. Remember, this is his home state of birth. He was ahead by 17% in the polls. We have enough information to call the state for Joe Biden. The state of New Hampshire will go to Joe Biden. He had a 9% lead in the polls here. 4 electoral votes projected to go to Joe Biden. And in the state of Florida, it is too close to call with its 29 electoral votes. Donald Trump is leading. And the electoral map is on the screen now. 103 for Joe Biden to 76 for Donald Trump. It is now 8:30 p.m. and 1 new state's polls have closed. Out of the state of Arkansas, a Republican win, Donald Trump wins, 6 electoral votes. And now we'll go over some too close to call states. Ohio is too close to call, 60% reporting. North Carolina is too close to call, 45% reporting. And the state of Georgia is too close to call. The state of Virginia is also too close to call, 13 electoral votes. It is now 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and a huge new batch of poll closings, 156 electoral votes in total. Out of the state of Texas, this will go to Donald Trump with a decisive victory of its 38 electoral votes. The state of Louisiana will go to Donald Trump, 8 electoral votes. The state of Kansas will go to Donald Trump, 6 electoral votes. The state of Nebraska, 5 out of its 5 electoral votes will go to Donald Trump. The state of South Dakota will go to Donald Trump. And the state of North Dakota with South Dakota will go to Donald Trump, 3 electoral votes. Wyoming, another 3 electoral votes landing in the Trump column tonight, 70% to 30%. And out of the state of New Mexico, 5 electoral votes projected to go to Joe Biden. The state of Minnesota will go to Joe Biden with its 10 electoral votes. And the state of New York, 29 electoral votes projected to go to Joe Biden with a decisive victory. Wisconsin has flipped from the Republican column and will go to Joe Biden. Remember those poll numbers earlier. This will go to Joe Biden, 10 electoral votes. In the state of Colorado, 9 electoral votes projected to go to Joe Biden. The state of Georgia is too close to call. The state of Ohio is too close to call with its 18 electoral votes. The state of North Carolina is still too close to call, an exact tie at the moment. The state of Virginia is too close to call, Joe Biden is leading. The state of Florida is too close to call. The state of Arizona has another exact tie with its 11 electoral votes, very, very contested state here. The state of Michigan is too close to call, Joe Biden 51% to Donald Trump's 49%. And the electoral map is on your screen now, as you can see, out of the addition of the tied marker, in states that are exactly tied, right now Joe Biden is leading 166 to Donald Trump's 148. It is now 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and 4 new states' polls have closed. Out of the state of Utah, this will go to Donald Trump, 6 electoral votes. The state of Montana will go to Donald Trump with a decisive victory, 3 electoral votes. The state of Iowa is too close to call, 51% to 49%. Remember, this is a state that Obama won with Joe Biden as the vice presidential candidate, but Donald Trump carried this one in 2016, 6 electoral votes. And the state of Nevada is interestingly too early to call, which does not necessarily mean it is too close to call, but we do not have enough information from all the precincts in order to make a prediction at this time. The electoral map is on your screen now. 162 for Joe Biden, 157 for Donald Trump gaining on Joe Biden, 98 electoral votes likely for Joe Biden, with 21 leading, with 11 electoral votes likely for Donald Trump. It is now 10:56 p.m. and we have 2 new projections totaling up to 29 electoral votes. Out of the state of Virginia, 13 electoral votes will go to Joe Biden, 53% to 46%. He is not the apparent winner, he is the winner of Virginia. It is now 10:56 p.m. and we can make 3 new projections totaling up to 47 electoral votes. Out of the state of Virginia, this will go to Joe Biden, 53% to 46%, 80% reporting. We have enough information to call the state for Joe Biden. Out of the state of Michigan, this one has flipped from the Republican column, 56% to 44% for Donald Trump, 16 electoral votes. And out of the state of Ohio, this has flipped from the Republican column. Joe Biden is the apparent winner with 95% of precincts reporting, 18 electoral votes land in the Joe Biden column tonight. It is now 11 p.m. Eastern Time, totaling up to 82 electoral votes in total, and we now have a major announcement. Joe Biden has been elected President of the United States. Joe Biden will be the 46th President of the United States. With these new calls out of these states, 291 electoral votes, he has surpassed the 270 mark by 21 electoral votes, compared to Donald Trump's 161, 70% of all precincts reporting. At this time, the popular vote is projected to go to Joe Biden, 51% to 48%, with 1% from the third-party candidates. This comes out of the states of California, with its 55 electoral votes projected to go to Joe Biden. With the state of Washington, 12 electoral votes projected to go to Joe Biden. The state of Oregon will go to Joe Biden. And the state of Hawaii, 4 electoral votes will go to Joe Biden. Out of the state of Idaho, this state will go to Donald Trump. However, it makes no meaning, for he is unable to reach the 270 mark. His path to 270 has been foreclosed. Donald Trump we just got information that Donald Trump has called Joe Biden to concede the presidential election. On your screen now is the current electoral map with those new poll closings: 291 for Joe Biden, 161 for Donald Trump, 56 leaning, 21 leaning for Joe Biden, and 6 likely for Joe Biden. It is now 12:15 a.m. and we can make 2 new projections. Out of the state of Iowa, this one will flip from the Republican column. Joe Biden is the apparent winner of its 6 electoral votes with 99% supporting by 1%. And out of the state of Nevada, this one will go to Joe Biden. 6 electoral votes projected to go to Joe Biden, as I said before. It is now 1 a.m. Eastern Time, and the state of Alaska has closed. The state of Alaska will go to Donald Trump, 58% to 42%, 3 electoral votes. It is now 1:19 a.m., and we now can make 3 major projections. The state of Georgia has flipped from the Republican column. Joe Biden is the apparent winner in the great state of Georgia. 16 electoral votes go to Joe Biden. Remember that there was a huge scandal of suppressing the minority vote here in 2019 before the primary season. The growing number of urban counties and the growing number of the urban population has landed Democratic victory. However, in the state of Arizona, even with the growing Latino population, Donald Trump is the apparent winner, 51% to 49% of its 11 electoral votes. And out of the state of North Carolina, Donald Trump is also the apparent winner with its 15 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. And the electoral map is on your screen now. The only state not called at this time is Florida, which is leaning to Donald Trump at this moment in time until all the absentee ballots are counted. 319 for Joe Biden, 120 for Donald Trump. If you add Florida to his count, Joe Biden will still be 100 electoral votes in front of Donald Trump. It is now 4 days later from Election Day. One major projection. The state of Florida has flipped from the Republican column. Joe Biden winning the state by 0.2, less than Barack Obama won it in 2012, 0.3. 29 electoral votes will go to Joe Biden, 100% reporting certified by the Secretary of State of Florida. The state will go to Joe Biden, and the final electoral map, 348 to Donald Trump's 190. Joe Biden has won the election with a decisive victory. The popular vote is on your screen now, 53% to 46%. This is the final popular vote, and the chances of winning overnight, as you can see, it started going down for Joe Biden, but it never came to a point where there was a possible majority Trump victory. Joe Biden ended up winning, of course, and please consider making a contribution to my Patreon. This helps me create videos. I'm so close to getting my new microphone because I've been talking into my MacBook microphone, which isn't working out very well. The link is patreon.com/LTE. I'll leave it in the description below. Please comment suggestions for my new videos. Again, that voting link, I'm still working on it. I'm still working on ideas that I think you guys might like. I'm going to try to find around 30. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.